Neil Sean here in the very heart of London, with a scene behind me that simply needs no introduction. For those, of course, that know, it is the wonderful auditorium of the Royal Opera House in the very heart of Covent Garden, London. So do join me and come inside where we tell you all the latest and the reasons why you should simply return. Neil Sean here on your entertainment news. I'm thrilled today to introduce to you
Alex Beard.
He is the CEO of the Royal Opera House in the heart of London, and Alex explains today exactly why you should pay a revisit to this splendid venue. Not only is it price competitive, but also steeped in history too. But remember though, Alex,
if you miss it, you miss out.
Don't miss Alex today on your entertainment news. And for many people, they don't realise that this particular opera house is in fact the third version. The first two sadly got burnt down, and this was all way to do with the fact that the Victorians, of course, hadn't quite invented the art of electricity. So this magnificent auditorium that you're looking at now to the side of the screen, of course, was all lit by candles. And it's amazing to think, when you think you've got opera singers singing with candles billowing smoke out, must have been incredibly difficult, and it's no wonder it got burnt down.
So I'm Alex Beard, Chief Executive of the Royal Opera House.
Alex, lovely to see you, and thank you for welcoming us back to your beautiful Royal Opera House. Tell me, you're back with a bang. What can we look forward to season-wise?
We've got an amazing season starting in September. We open with a new production of Rigoletto. We have returning favourites like Romeo and Juliet with the world's greatest dancers from the Royal Ballet, new productions like Jan Nuffer, and of course great favourites like the Magic Flute too.
We love all of those. Now tell me, the Royal Opera House is such a special place. It's a landmark place actually in London, isn't it? What were your earliest memories of it before you became the boss, as it were?
I first came to the Royal Opera House at the age of 11 when a babysitting option fell through for my mum. And I was blown away by the place, the extraordinary beauty of the theatre, the wonderful music, the whole environment. It is the ultimate surround sound 360-degree experience.
And what was your journey to becoming the boss here, for want of a better word? How did what was your journey to becoming back here and then saying, right, I'm now running this?
Well, my first professional connection with the Opera House was when I was at the Arts Council, and I was responsible for funding and for looking after that side of things. Then I went to work at the Tate, where for 19 years I had an extraordinary journey through the creation of Tate Modern, the extension of Tate Britain. But my heart, ever since those early days, has always been in Covent Garden. And when the opportunity came to join as Chief Executive, a dream come true.
I mean, it's a wonderful role to say you hold as well, isn't it? Because you go on an amazing roll call of people before you. Do you look at those sometimes and think, wow, I wonder how they did it, or what, because it's been around so long, hasn't it? That's the thing.
Look, at an institution like the Royal Opera House, you're conscious of the extraordinary legacy that you've been handed, not just the beauty of the surroundings, the accumulated musical and performing values, but also the great people who've come before. And that's something that one's got to live up to preserve the best of what was being given, but also look forward to the future and create new highs for others to take on. Well, the great thing about opera and ballet is the extraordinary richness and depth of the repertoire, and this next season we have a number of old favourites, classics coming back like Magic Flute, Traviata, a new Rigoletto, Giselle, that everyone or most people know, but welcoming first timers to those pieces is just such a delight. But then also some less well-known pieces that really excited to present, like Jan Nuffer by Janacek, wonderfully dramatic tale. But also new work for the very first time, a world premiere of the Dante Project coming in October. So hopefully with that combination of much loved classics with new artists bringing them to life, new takes on new productions, less well-known works, as well as world premieres, that's an unrivaled menu for people to enjoy.
Finally, I have to ask, you have some, I think, very competitive prices, and I think a lot of people think it's an expensive night out or afternoon or whatever. But you also have many great events in here. I remember your Big Sing Fridays in here, which were fabulous. Yeah. I came to those, very good fun. But give me a flavour of if you wanted to come to a night, what would be the ticket price that you could come in as an acceptable level for someone who's, maybe on a budget?
Okay, so we try to keep a really accessible range of prices. So around about 35% of the tickets are less than £50. Pretty much every show you can come in to see for around about a tenner. For under 25s, we reserve 200 tickets at £25 a night, all the way through the week. So just give it a go. I mean, it is a fantastic experience, and I hope that, like me, when I first went for, a few bob at the age of 11, it was a journey towards a lifetime's enjoyment of these great art forms, and I can't wait to welcome you.
When you look at this magnificent auditorium, it's just hard to imagine the wonderful voices that have come out across these wonderful seats from all of those greats. Of course, including the likes of people like Luciano Pavarotti and, of course, Dame Nellie Melba, and possibly one of the greatest divas in opera, Maria Callas. They've all played here, and of course it's cited as one of their all-time favourite opera houses in the world. It's not surprising, really, because when you do come through the stage door, you do have a feeling of those that have gone beyond. Now, what's brilliant about the Opera House in today's world, the 21st century, it's open to all. As we've heard from some of the people who work here, the tickets are of an incredible rate, and its accessibility is the key now, what the Royal Opera House want to do. Plus the fact you get to see some people more contemporary that you wouldn't necessarily have noted that would normally play a venue like this, including the likes of the Pet Shop Boys, Chrissie Hynde of the Pretenders, and even comedians like Bill Bailey. So of course it really is open to all. But imagine looking at this wonderful auditorium that in the Second World War, this particular venue was also a Mecca dance hall. Can you imagine? But it was, and that's simply because, of course, dance was king during the Second World War, and it wasn't the only venue in this vicinity. The likes of the Lyceum around the corner, that also became a Mecca dance hall, and I really can imagine how glamorous it must have been in those dark ages of such a really depressing time, if you like, to be able to come in here with all these glorious lights, dance the night away, and hopefully forget your troubles, if only for a few hours. Opera House really came back into its own in February of 1946. That's not too long after the war, if you think about it. They quickly bounced back with none other than Dame Margot Fonteyn and, of course, a wonderful production of Sleeping Beauty. Now, she was, of course, the prima ballerina of that era. In fact, she still remains the one person that everybody associates ballet with throughout the ages. Now, for my generation, of course, it is also someone who shot onto our screens all thanks to the hit juggernaut TV show Strictly Come Dancing and the very beautiful and very talented Miss Darcey Bussell. But of course, today, just around the corner, there are ballerinas training and going through their paces as we speak, who will become the next superstars of ballet, appearing on this stage and making their own history.